If you have never been part of a costume band during Carnival, it can be hard for you to know which one is the best band to be. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly the framework that I use to decide which Carnival band I will pick for my Carnival experience. Let's go. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Clementine Afana, but you can call me Dr. Clem, and I teach busy people like you how to find remote work opportunities so that you can earn more and afford your dreams. One of my dreams has been to travel around the world, and I've been able to do that by working remotely at different stages of my life. If you are interested in this adventure, make sure that you subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you are the first one to know every single time I release a video about remote work and companies hiring. I also share experiences about everywhere I'm going and places where you can go for short weekend getaways or vacations so that you can maximize your time and live your best life. So if you want to be a part of this amazing adventure, make sure that you also subscribe and turn on your post notifications. Finally, as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, I am having a unique and amazing conference happening in March of this year, 2023, in Dominica at the Bouyon Hotel. If you are a business owner, whether you just started or you have been in business for a while, but you haven't been able to meet your income goals and your impact goals, this conference is for you. We have an amazing lineup of speakers who are going to talk about how you can pivot even when the economy is hard, how you can scale your business regardless of what other people are doing, how you can pitch to big companies, land corporate deals, and make a lot more money and have a lot more impact. If you want to be a part of this adventure, I'm going to include a link to this event in the description box of this video. Sign up, save your spot. We only have 30 spots available because this is an in-person event. And if you're not a business owner but you know somebody who is, make sure you share this with them. Alright, so when I first joined a costume band, full transparency, I hate when people say full transparency, like, are you not normally transparent? I'm transparent. But when I first joined a costume band, I was in medical school, like I have shared in the previous video, and I didn't really know much about costume band. I was like, okay, let's do it. So I kind of like jumped on the bandwagon. My other friends who were, not even Dominicans, I mean, they were Americans, they were like, let's do it. So I kind of like jumped around, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever band you're going to join, I'm going to join as well. So the first time I joined the Carnival Band, it was actually the band that my friends back then decided that we should join. And I was like, you know what, let's do it, because either way I don't want to jump up alone. Like, it's true that even if your friends don't want to join a band, you can make friends in the band. Like if you really want to enjoy yourself, you can make friends in the band. Don't be dismayed if your friends don't want to join. But anyways, so I joined that band. It was Mercury, right? That was my very first experience. And then after that, the next band that I joined was Hysteria Mas. And that was right after the Hurricane Maria, where they had a very low, I shouldn't say low level, but budget launch. It was a budget carnival experience. A lot of people really just wanted to play mass because Dominica has just gone through a traumatic experience with the hurricane, and the carnival that time was just like feeling different because it was like, we are born again. And I think that band was called, the theme that year was Phoenix Rise. So I joined that as well because my friends were part of Hysteria Mas, and they were like, let's join. They're gonna watch this video, they're gonna recognize themselves. I don't need to call their names. The third time I joined a carnival band was with the Paul's Experience, and I'm gonna tell you why I decided to join that carnival band, and I think that is going to set the precedence for the rest of this video, because the elements that I used to determine whether or not I would join that band are what I want to share with you, and they are the same elements that I will use to determine if I'm joining a carnival band in the future. So first, when you want to choose a carnival band, the first thing that a lot of people look at is the costume. The first people look at is the artist lineup. Am I going to have fun? Am I going to have a beautiful costume that I can use for my selfies, for my Instagram and whatnot? That's what people usually look at. But to me, what I generally look at the first is the concept, the idea, the vision behind this band. Who is the person in charge of this band? I know a lot of times we feel like, it doesn't really matter once it's a good business, but it's important for you to know that a business is a reflection of its CEO or its owner or the people behind it. So it's important for you to know, or for me to know, who is the person behind this this band, behind this project. What have they done in the past? Now, it doesn't mean that if you are a new person, okay, do not get me wrong, it doesn't mean that if you are new in the business, you are not able to really have that beautiful experience. Because the first time I joined Paul's, I think it was their first carnival experience, and I had an amazing time. Okay. I did my research on the band. I love the concept, I love the idea of what they were bringing to the table, and that's why I wanted to join. Also, I wanted something new, I wanted something fresh, so I went with the Paul's experience. And throughout the onboarding process, the picking up of the costumes, I was pleased. I love that. This will take us to the second point, the logistics. I am a person, I love to have things organized. I love to know that when I invest into something, I'm getting my deliverables and I'm getting little to no headaches. And with Paul's experience, I realized that even though it was the first time that they were having this carnival experience, the logistics were really clean, really clear. Like, I was able to pick my costume early, and I was like, from what I've always heard about carnival bands, like, people always pick up their costumes late, and I was so happy that a few days before carnival, my costume was already at home. I could try it. If I needed adjustments, which I didn't, I could, they could be taken care of. I didn't have to worry about picking up my costume on the day of the parade. Like, who does that? So I love that. I love those logistics. I love that they were on top of their game and they had that happening. Now, I'm not saying that the other bands don't have that, but I'm talking about the points that made me decide to go with one band and what I realized. The third thing that I look at when joining a carnival band is the costumes. Yes. I know a lot of people look at it first. The majority of people who join carnival bands first look at the costumes. Do I like this costume? And it makes sense, right? Because you're going to be wearing the costumes. And the carnival bands, they're going to be giving different options based on the theme of the band for the year and based on the artist's inspiration and whatnot. But for me, I love the fact that the costumes had conservative options, because there could be people out there who want to also have this band experience but don't necessarily want to be too revealing. So I love that about Pulse. And one thing that I also noticed for this year's carnival is that Signal Band, which is having its premier carnival band for the first time, has rolled out Fantasy Tribe, which is the name of the band. And when they released the costumes, I saw that they also had conservative options. So I really love that. I love that they were able to appeal to a different market. They were able to be considerate of other people, who might have different preferences. And people might want to be conservative in a different way. Like, it might not, for different reasons, I should say. It might not always be, people have their reasons. Some, for their religious reasons, some because they don't feel comfortable just getting their body out. I just love the fact that the Fantasy Tribe by Signal Band actually allows for those conservative options, which is one of the reasons why I also recommend them, for this season. By the time you're watching this video, maybe the registration will have been closed, but I think those are elements that you should look at, in the future. The fourth thing that I look at when picking which carnival band I want to join is the entertainment. So you will see that for me, entertainment comes as number 4. For a lot of people, they start with the costume and the entertainment. Like, if I have a good time and I'm hearing good music and I'm wearing something nice, I'm fine. But for me, I go deeper because I feel like the entire costume band experience is not limited to the fun on the road. The fun on the road is the culminating point. I want to see how we are progressing there. So we are now getting to the entertainment. That's where if you want to join a band, with Signal Band, you're going to be listening to their music. With Triple K, you'll be jumping up to their music. With the Pulse experience, you're going to be jumping up to Carly Next, who is coming on board this year. With the Amnesia Band, you're going to be jumping up to Esa Bantan and so forth. So I think you will decide on who you want to jump up with based on the type of music you like, and based on the type of entertainment that you want. And that really comes down to a personal preference. But for me, I'm like, I feel like everything just adds up. So if I like the costume but I don't like the entertainment and stuff, I gotta think about it. If I don't like the costume but I like the entertainment and I like all the logistics and stuff, I've got to think about it. But those are different factors that come in play. Personally, I would love jumping up with Signal Band because I love that they are advocating for clean bouillon, beautiful lyrics. You know, the majority of the songs that they have been releasing, you know, historically and up to like the past 2 years, the majority of them have clean, you know, lyrics, beautiful lyrics that are just about unity, about love, about just like clean fun. You know, it doesn't always need to be, you know, depraving and degrading, I should say. So I love that, and that is a phase where I am in my life, and that's what I want to jump up to. So that would be a huge selling point for me. I also wouldn't mind jumping up to the Paul's experience, because it is like the entertainment is by Carnival XP, and she's the queen of Bouyon. Carnival has been putting herself out there. Carnival has been entertaining. She has been having her own shows, so she would also be a fun person to jump up to. A lot of people love Triple K, and that is absolutely fine. People have different musical tastes. People have different vibes that they want to feel on the road. If you love Triple K's music, if you love the you know, you stand by their lyrics, you stand by what they do, that's fine. You should consider them. I love Asa Banton as well. You know, I think he's a great entertainer. He always goes over the top, which is a great thing. And you know, I think that is also something that can come into consideration when you want to pick which band you want to join. Okay. And finally, the fifth point that I take into consideration when I want to join a carnival band is what is included in this experience. Now, one of the things that I loved about the Pulse experience from the first time that I had that was the fact that, first of all, I mentioned the logistics already, I mentioned the costumes, but I love the fact that on the road there was a recovery bus. Now, I had never experienced that during my time jumping up for Carnival, which I've done a few times, but they had a recovery bus, which means if you are part of the band and you're tired or you wasted or you drunk-ish, Corny Shelley, you know, you can hop on the bus and just kind of like just chill, just sleep on the bus, like you're fine, you know, you are safe. So I love the recovery bus option. They also have their own makeup artists who like did the makeup on the day. And I mean, generally, you know, those things that you need to kind of like book in advance. On Carnival Tuesday, you need to make sure before, like months before, you need to make sure that you have your makeup booked. And because back then, you know, it was my first experience, I just really wanted everything to be streamlined. I booked with them and I got my makeup done, you know, on Tuesday morning, and I was on time for the parade. So I love that. And with Signal Band this year, one of the things that I love is the fact that the band Fantasy Tribe actually has different sections, and even more importantly, they have a section for children. I love to tease them, and I'm like, you know what, if I'll join the kids section because them costumes be lit, you know. I think that we underestimate the fact that Carnival can also be a family experience, and you know, children can take part in Carnival in a fun and a nice way. When they release their costumes and when they release the theme, like I think the children had like this little elf kind of like vibe, I was like, wow, this is a sold for me. I absolutely love it. I love the concept. I love the children costumes. I think it was like the fairy, like it was so cute. I'm like, can I have that one? Like, I love all the others, but can I have that one? So I really love the creativity behind it. I love that they were intentional about catering to children too, you know, because Carnival is a cultural experience, and unless you cater to children, you're not going to get children also in costume bands. And also, to go back to the fact that the Signal Band music is clean fun, you know, everybody in the family can enjoy that, you know, when they sing the clean fun, the clean songs and so forth. So those are a few of the things. Oh, the last thing, number six, the last thing that I consider when joining a carnival band is, as part of what is included, you know, what are the meals that are going to be served, what are going to be provided. We have to keep in mind that when you're on the road for an entire day. So you need to be able to eat something that is consistent, and it's breakfast, lunch, afternoon snack, and whatnot. So you want to make sure when you register for a band that they provide what they provide and what the items are. Like if they say it's only breakfast and maybe lunch and fruits, you need to know what kind of lunch is it, because if you're on the road and you're having you know, like just soup, you know, like soup is not consistent enough. In my opinion, soup is not consistent enough when you are going to be drinking. You know, it's not consistent because you need something that is heavy enough to facilitate like when you digest and you also digest the alcohol, you know, it's gonna reduce the digestion of the alcohol. At least, you know, it's not gonna make you absorb it so fast, you know. So you need to make sure that you know what items you are going to be getting on the road, you know, what refreshments, what snacks you are going to be getting. The last thing, number 7, that I take into consideration when it comes to joining a carnival band is the value for money. It is no question that taking part in carnival is a costly event. It's a costly investment, and when you add a costume band experience to it, it can even double your cost. One of the things that I love with Signal Band this year with Fantasy Tribe, which is their carnival product, the Carnival Band, is that when you register for the band, you get 1 registration and 5 events, which means that the days leading up to the jump up, which are Monday and Tuesday, you are going to get events. They have a lineup of different events that they're going to be having. You're going to get those events included already in your registration package that is coming. In addition to that, on the Carnival Monday and Tuesday, you are automatically entered into Illumination, which is a Jouvert experience, and you are also entered to jump up, obviously, on Carnival Tuesday as part of the parade. So I feel like when you pay your money, it's like an all-inclusive carnival experience. And honestly, who doesn't want all-inclusive? Like, I want to know that I'm taken care of. So I really love that innovation, like that creativity that I put behind that product, how they demarketed themselves, and I think that is a huge selling point. If you're traveling to Dominica for Carnival, it's important for you to know that once you pay your money, you're gonna get a good time, and you're not gonna need to pay again like so soon. So even if you say that, okay, you don't want to attend any other fets during the Carnival season, at least if you have had the Signal Band Fantasy Tribe experience, then you will know that, okay, if that's all I got all fetched out. So those are the things that I really love about the package that they have offered this year. So this concludes this video on the things that I look for before joining a Carnival band. Have you implemented any of those tips? Are you joining a band this year? And if yes, which one and why? I would love to hear from you in the comments.